Welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast, our weekly catch-up and review of the weekend's game. And this week, as I say, is against Chelsea. And as you can see, I'm joined by Steve and Andrew. How you doing, guys? It's been a while since we've been together, but how are you all doing?
Very good, thank you. How can you be anything else at the minute?
I haven't checked the league table recently, but I'll have to see if, where we are, I think.
I know. I get confused. I don't know. I think we're fourth.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like it's
table's upside down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's the bottom of the league. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but Man United would still be crap though, even if it was upside down, wouldn't it? So
they're fifth, right? They're fifth, and they're closer in points to the bottom than they are the top.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Well, we've got a game in hand and 11 points. I might be wrong, but I think we've got a game in hand and 11 points on them, haven't we? Something like that.
Yeah.
And our game in hand is at home. Our game in hand is at home to Everton.
Right. Well, we like playing Everton, don't we?
Yeah.
Generally.
3 points at home.
Yeah. Could have done with 3 points last season against Everton, couldn't we?
Yeah, away from home. Yeah, that was
just a bit.
Yeah. But you think if it hadn't been for that result, Uber still be here? He'd never been kicked out in January the way it had been.
No, you look at it, don't you? We might not have signed Jesus. We might not have signed Zinchenko. Who knows?
Back in 30 seconds, boys. I'm just going to change my chair.
Yeah, I mean, we might not have re-signed Saliba. Lots of things could have happened, couldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. So I've got to take it as a blessing in one sense, but as it is what it is. But yeah, we did. Funny enough, like I said in the last night's game, this afternoon's game. Sorry, last night. We don't do L's in D's. We do W's. We just seem to keep winning, no matter what. We just win.
I think we've scored every game this season as well, home and away.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, against United, if we hadn't have had the goal disallowed, we wouldn't have. I don't think we'd have lost that game if that Martinelli goal had stood.
100%.
No, yeah, it's a different game then. Yeah.
And we just had a bad half hour, didn't we, in that game? Because we got back into it, and then we just we lost our way a little bit for about half an hour, didn't we? 20 minutes. So. You look at it like that, and then you look at what the other teams are doing. Man City are just like. I mean, just that. If we'd have signed Haaland, we'd have been 10 points clear by now.
We
would have been, wouldn't we? If you think the chances we missed,
he's regretting his decision, obviously.
Well, yeah, he's looking at the league table. He thought he'd signed for United, obviously.
No, he thought bloody it was.
He thought Manchester was in London.
Yeah, basically.
There's already been talk about his exit clause, isn't there, or something? Something about looking at ways out.
£300 million or something like that, yeah. After year 2.
See, Andrew's on it. He's got
the numbers. He's got his spreadsheet. He knows what's going on.
100%, mate. Got my finger on the pulse.
Yeah. I mean, who could pay that? PSG, maybe?
We'll be able to pay that in 2 years' time. We'll be won the Champions League 2 years on the trot. And the Premier League.
True.
Yeah, revenue, yeah.
All our youngsters will be worth more than that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If we get them all signed up, that's the big challenge this season. Well, apart from finishing top, but getting all the youngsters signed up to long-term deals, isn't it?
Well, fair play to James Benge. Did you hear the Martinelli interview? And he said that he loves the club and blah, blah, because he's already done that. And he said, well, you just need a pen then. He goes, yeah, I just need a pen.
Yeah, I mentioned this last
week.
Great
question. He couldn't get away from that one, could he?
No.
Great question,
well, I mean,
James.
They're not in a hurry, are they? They want to make sure the deals are right. With all joking aside, players have got to think about their long-term future, and they want to make sure that the deal is going to be good for the next 5 years. And players like Martinelli and Saka and Saliba, they'll still have a massive sell-on value in 5 years' time if they decide, they want to move. So,
well, what I do want to say, So I do want to say massive congratulations though so far to Tomiyasu, Gabriel Martinelli himself, and Jesus for making their World Cup squad.
Yeah.
100%.
Hopefully, Tommy's going to be fit. Obviously, he was injured the other day, so hopefully he's not. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a hamstring, it could be. I think what was it, grade 1 hamstring, 3 weeks apparently. So he might miss the first game of the World Cup, something like that. Worst case scenario.
Yeah. But it does mean half the squad are going to have an extended break, aren't they? I know they'll do some warm weather training and bits and pieces, but most of them will have a few weeks off, won't they? Come back strong for the Boxing Day.
Well, apparently they're not going to get any more than about a week off. Rest of the time they're going to be training, and then obviously they're going to be going to Dubai and all that as well. But I don't think they're going to get any more than a week off. The ones that aren't going, which fair enough. I think you need to carry on in this stage of the season.
Yeah, just carry. Well, the ones that aren't going, carry on as normal. Just training, whether it be in Colony or in Dubai or whatever, and just train as normal.
It's better to train up in Dubai than it is in North London on a nice winter's day. I mean, I know what I'd rather do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 100%.
No, well, Arsenal, if you're listening, can you get us 3 over there? Do the podcast over
there. Actually, can I actually change it to the Maldives? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
All you need is some backdrops, isn't it? Get some backdrops on this, and then you'll all see us on the beach somewhere having a pina colada.
I'm on it.
Backdrops. That's the thing. That's what you need. Backdrops.
I'll miss looking at your lovely floral wallpaper, mate.
Yeah. Well, the garage has obviously got a bit cold now.
Yeah.
And a bit wet, I'm assuming as well.
A bit wet,
in the background.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's all good, isn't it? I mean, we just keep winning games, as you say. We don't even draw games, do we? We just keep winning games. I know we lost against PSV, but I mean, that was always on the cards, wasn't it? With PSV, they're a decent side, playing at home. They score goals for fun, and we had our second 11 out, didn't we? So, I suppose that was that's the only blemish, really.
Yeah. I mean, as I was saying, in terms of the league itself, apart from the half-hour blip I don't know why it happened as well against United at the start of the season, or 6 games in. Sorry, we got ourselves back in we were on top, and then we just for the last half hour we made mistakes and allowed United to get the result. But the big question I had at the time, and a few of us had at the time as well from this channel, was the reaction now. Because this time last year, at that point, if we lost the game, we'd go on a 2 to 3 game losing streak and then come back after that. And this time we got Europe. We didn't have Europe last year. We wanted to see a bounce back. We had Zurich, we won there, circumstances and all that as well. From the second half onwards, we still managed to get through that. But yeah, the reaction we've seen from adversity during games or in that one incident with United winning, it's been nothing short of phenomenal from this team. This team, again, the second youngest team in the league on average. The team that just missed out, had the pain of missing out on Champions League games and having to have it rubbed in their face by Tottenham all summer. They've come back, and it does seem, I keep saying it does seem that they've learned from that, from not just from that moment, but from the season in general. And you had the additions of Jesus, Zinchenko, got Matt Turner now, you got Saliba's come back. He's a different animal as well. I was describing him yesterday because I've watched him live. I watched him on here as well, and the way he covers ground. Even if he gets caught out briefly on back foot, it is gazelle-like defending. He just runs and struts across the pitch like a gazelle. Like makes it look effortless though. He's not like he's out of breath either. Just get the ball, okay, boom, and go. I think the 3rd man of the match he's had this season in the league, or 4th.
I mean, there was that incident that when he played, I can't remember who the tackle was, but he played the guy offside by 3 yards, and then caught him.
Yeah. I know. I retweeted the little clip just about half an hour ago, and I literally said I could watch this clip over on repeat for about an hour and not get bored of it. It's just so amazing. It just completely makes a mug of the guy. And he's not slow. He's 21, 22, Brozier player as well. He's no slouch. And he just, stepped up, played him offside, but then when he got the ball anyway. It's just unbelievable. It's just like, and you know what? If you watch that clip again back, all the other defenders, just like they start running and then they just slow down a little bit because they know it's Bill, he'll get it. It's like, they just leave it. It's like it's unbelievable the trust they've got in that player as well. He said, I mean, let's face it, you can't forget. I mean, it's hard. You're not going to forget his age and everything. That keeps going. But the fact is that he's only had 13 games in the Premier League
ever. He's still learning, isn't he?
And he's already the best player in the Premier League in his position and probably Europe.
And he's not reached his peak yet.
No.
He's got years until he gets his peak, isn't he?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if you'd have spent, I don't know, if you'd have brought him in for 60 million, you'd have thought that was a steal, wouldn't you?
Unbelievable.
The way he just took, as I say, the way he just took to, because I keep saying like every league's different in around Europe. League is different to Premier League. The way he just took to the Premier League from day one, away to Palace onwards. Yeah, he's had a few moments, literally a few moments over the course of the season so far. But you expect that in any player. But it's how they recover and how they come together again, and they don't let it get to them. We've seen it over the years with the Sendivoses, the Abuways, or whoever, the Scalazzis of this world. A mistake happens, and it's just it goes to the head, and they never recover ever. Not even the next game or whatever. It continues. I mean, again, we just to touch on the centre backs as well. His partner Gabriel. The amount of stick he's been. We've mentioned it before. Andrew's mentioned a scapegoat basically, where he makes a mistake and everyone's on him, no matter what. Fully made a mistake, but even though the team got behind him, the fans in the stadium got behind him, and he came back, he got the winning goal, and this and that and the other. He still had people bashing him over the head over that one mistake.
Yeah, well,
and the penalty against Tottenham wasn't his fault. Xhaka made a poor first touch. He tried to recover it. What was he to do? Just let Richarlison go through and score. Didn't he get blamed for that? And it's the mentality thing. The mentality is changing this team.
But he's a young player as well, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Steve. I was saying that everyone is backing Saliba because he's amazing. He's an amazing player, and no one will say a bad word against him. But he's made mistakes as well.
Of course, yes. I mean,
there's a penalty
situation, isn't there? There's a penalty situation. But
I just want everyone to back each player equally. Just if they give all the backing they're giving to all their favourite players and Saliba and everybody, give it to everyone. Give it to Gabriel as well. They need it more than ever this season. More than ever. Everyone needs to back this team and get behind this team. And I know we are. In the ground, you won't hear anything against any of our players.
No. Well, that's how it should be, isn't it? I mean, they all try their best, but everybody can make a mistake. And that's just life, isn't it? I mean, but they're not costing us games. I mean, we talked last season about how we started games really slowly and we'd go a goal behind very early on. We'd never come back, would we? How many times did we come back from 1-0 deficit?
The thing is as well.
Twice,
Gabriel mops up lots of mistakes from other players as well.
Yeah, of course he does, yeah.
He really cleans up well. And he made that mistake against Forest, didn't he? When he played that bad pass in the box, and Ben White made that one probably the best block you'll ever see in your life. But that's what they do. That's what they're all there for, to help each other out. No one, and I've lost count of the amount of times Gabriel's done that for his teammates as well this season. Blocks, mopping up like loose passes. Making them, they all do it for each other. So anyway, I don't know what we were in this subject for, but
You mentioned Ben White. I mean, who knew he was right back?
Oh, unbelievable, Ben White. I love that guy so much. Have you seen that little clip of him chipping the ball onto Aubameyang's, not Aubameyang, Ødegaard's head?
Ødegaard's head.
Yeah. After the celebration.
Another guy.
Absolutely,
I saw a clip.
Absolutely love him.
where Mason Mount took him out on the byline. Yeah, took him out, free kick. Then about 2 or 3 minutes later, the same situation arose again, and Ben White just nutmegged him and run off with the ball. It was just like, well, you can take me out, but have some of that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, it's just brilliant. And I just think, you know, we didn't sign Ben White as a right back, did we? But as it's turned out, he's probably one of the best right backs in the league. And if he doesn't go to the World Cup, and players like Maguire and John Stones do, I think that's a travesty. Absolute travesty.
If he doesn't go to the World Cup, I'm not covering the World Cup on this channel, put it that way.
It's, you know, I just don't get it, you know. But Maguire can't even get in the Man United side. No, that's how good he is.
In the England side, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it just sends out the wrong message to me. It just sends out the wrong message completely.
Well, also with Ben White,
he could have a great season.
And give him more praise to Ben. He's played from day one this season in a position that's not natural. His natural position. He's always centre back. As he's always said, he's been his natural thing. He can play there. He's played it before, briefly. But from day one this season, he's been put out there, and he's kept Tommy Asu out, and he has pocketed every left winger or anyone that comes near him in every game. He's took it to duck to water, and he is phenomenal. He's the most informed defender, English-wise, in the league because of. And it's not. And you got to add into the equation. He's playing for the team that's top of the league, batting it out with City. He's out of position for his natural position. He's also he's briefly played centre back for like 5 minutes this season, but he's never complained.
No. And now you've got him overlapping Saka on the right, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got him.
I'm telling you as well, I reckon by the end of the season, he's going to have got a few goals as well, Ben White. He's getting closer and closer in every game. Yeah. He really is. He's getting into some great positions now, and he just slightly miscued one, didn't he, against Chelsea, and almost Jesus almost sort of slid in and got it at the far post, but it just went a bit wide. But he's getting closer and closer, and I think he's going to score a few goals as well by the end of the season.
Yeah.
But it's not just the most informed English defender. I think he's probably the best. Who's better than him?
Well, they were talking about Kieran Trippier, weren't they, the other day? But I can't see that. You know, Arnold. No, I don't think
all-round player. I mean, an all-round player. I mean, Kieran Trippier is a very good right back. I'm not going to start knocking him, but you know, he's at the wrong end of 30. He's over 30, and he's purely a right back. And I know that Gareth Southgate uses him at left back, but that's because Gareth Southgate's 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. But as an overall player, Ben White is so much better. He's so much a better all-round player than Kieran Trippier.
But we didn't sign him as a right back, did we? I know he was a centre back, wasn't he? He's a centre back, and if anything happened to Saliba or Gabriel, he'd be straight in, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
centre back probably, and Cedric could then play on the right if Tommy's not fit.
Whoop! No, don't say that again. Oh, we don't want that, do we? But yeah, no, he's exactly right. He's just a brilliant footballer. That's what it is. He's not. I mean, no, I've said this before on the podcast, but we can't really say he's playing out of position anymore because he's such a good right back.
When's he played at centre back for us this season? He hasn't, has he?
He hasn't. No, that's what I mean. You can't say he's a centre back playing out of position anymore because he's equally as good at right back as he is as a centre back, and he's taken to it. And he's the unsung hero of the team at the moment. I don't think he gets enough praise that he's due.
I think, to be honest, all the players at the moment are playing their A game. I think there's nobody that we're, like last season, we were carrying players, weren't we? In certain situations, we were carrying players.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're carrying anybody now. Everybody that's playing is playing at the top of their game. And I think players that come in are having to play at that level. I think the stat I saw was we've got 8 players that have played every league game so far this season. 8 players. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
They've just got to stay fit because, touch wood, if we pick up any more injuries, that's when it's going to hurt, isn't it? But I'm just so sick to death that this World Cup is happening. I really am. I feel
robbed of a proper World Cup because it's not where it should be. It's not happening in the summer. It doesn't feel like it's a World Cup to me. And I feel robbed that this season of all season, as an Arsenal fan, we're having to cease playing, and anything can happen after the World Cup because no one knows what the players are going to be like. No one knows how the players that haven't gone and how the players that have gone, are they all going to be at different stages of fitness? Are they going to be back to be able to sort of work together like they have been? Are they going to be a gel straight away? Or are the players going to come back from the World Cup knackered, injured, ill? Anything can happen. I mean, it's just so frustrating that we're having to stop the season now with the way that we're playing. Because I don't think if the World Cup wasn't here now when we carried on, we've got a serious chance this season. Serious chance. But we just got to hope that all the luck goes our way come the end of the World Cup and we can just carry on as is. But
well, it's a good chance. Yeah, I mean, but it is the same for everybody. I mean, obviously,
yeah, of course it is.
Other clubs,
but no one else is top of the league. We are.
No one else is top of the league. That is the thing, isn't it? And if we can win, on Saturday against Wolves, then going into the World Cup top of the league, 2 points clear, you'd have taken that all day long, at the start of the season.
Oh yeah, literally. If someone told me that, I would have literally stuck the hand off and run to the fucking bank with it.
But when you look how far we're ahead of teams like Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, I mean, and even Tottenham are showing signs now of their luck running out. I mean, Jesus.
They've lost 3 games on the trot now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, whereas they were somehow winning these games, and you just think, how the hell?
How are they still fourth?
But they're still fourth. Yeah, they've accrued enough points. But, if Harry Kane was to stop scoring, they'd be, blimey, they'd be bottom of the league, wouldn't they?
I heard something else today, and I don't know how true this is, right? But obviously the World Cup ends on the 18th, the final.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a possibility that our first game back could be the 22nd, the second round of the Carabao Cup.
The next round of the Carabao Cup, yeah.
And that's
true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, what the? I mean, seriously, it's just a joke, isn't it? Absolutely.
It'd be a second 11, though, wouldn't it? It would be a second 11 in that game, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but even so, I mean,
say Brazil, for example, from an Arsenal perspective, say Brazil and England get to the final. We
haven't got a second 11.
If Ben White gets picked, no Ben White. Ramsdale, even if he doesn't play, he won't be available. Jesus, Martinelli, that's 5. Start 11, just gone.
Yeah, we haven't got a second 11. We've got a second, half 11, but half the first team play in all the cup games and the Europa League games.
Well, unfortunately, they have to not bail us out, but they have to, make sure we don't lose the game, don't they? But yeah.
Yeah, but even so, 5 maybe first team starters always play from the start in the Europa League.
I think this is why, the transfer window needs to be strengthened in certain positions, so we don't have so many players that aren't quite good enough coming into the side. So we need to sign, another really good central midfield player, and I still think we probably need a striker as well. To be fair, because bless him, Nketiah is not really doing it, is he?
I think he's playing well still. He's just not scoring. Yeah. Similar to Gabriel Jesus, not similar in the way that Gabriel Jesus is just out on a different.
He's been unlucky though these days.
I can't remember an more unlucky goal scorer.
Everywhere, don't they? The keeper's foot, back somebody's
shoulder blade.
I
know, eyebrow. Honestly, he's just so unlucky.
I mean, that header he missed. I mean, if that on another day he gains an inch, doesn't he? And he puts it in the back on that game. It was a whisker away, wasn't it, from a perfect.
And people are saying, "Oh, it's similar to Lacazette now." Because
no,
we're praising the way his work rate, blah blah blah, and what he does for the team, but he's not scoring. But he does this, but it doesn't compare at all because Jesus is still having 7-8 shots every game, getting into brilliant positions. Lacazette wasn't even shooting. Sorry, to be able to score, he wasn't getting anywhere near the box. So it was a completely different situation.
This is,
He's
you know,
working his socks off.
Yeah, and it's sorry. This is what I was trying to say yesterday in terms of yes, he's on a again. It's only a mini. It's a mini blip. The last time he scored was against Tottenham a few weeks ago, start of last month, first week of the last month. Sorry, it's a mini blip. But as you say, people go, "Oh, he's doing this." It's not just that he's putting the performance in anyway. He's still having shots. He's still trying to create goals and get stuck in and trying to help the team out. Either way, which way?
I mean,
Either which way, he's trying to help the team to score goals. Lacazette wasn't doing that. Aubameyang wasn't doing that. Hence why we fell the way we fell in the end of our season.
Yeah. I mean, he dribbled. What was that game yesterday? He dribbled past 3 or 4 players, didn't he, in the box, and had his shot. And I think it was it Thiago Silva that managed to stick a boot out.
Silva blocked it. Yeah.
Just caught his foot. And you just think on another day, that's in the back of the net, isn't it?
Yeah. There's so many of those. So many of those.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not as if I've never seen Lacazette dribble past one person, let alone 3.
No.
and run on and run away from somebody.
Oh, exactly. You just, it's
chalk and cheese. It's chalk and cheese. So all the time he's doing that, but not scoring, but we're scoring goals, then I'm happy with that.
Exactly. Yeah, but I just think it was an absolute brilliant away performance. Apart from like 2 or 3 more goals, you could not wish for a better away performance in the Premier League than that Sunday. I just think it was superb.
It was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, it was yesterday. Sorry, I'm thinking it's Tuesday for my show, Dad. In my head. It was yesterday. But how could it have been better? We dominated them in their own backyard. Completely dominated them. They had 3 attempts at goal, one on target in the whole game.
Ramsdale went out for a pizza at 60 minutes, didn't he? And he thought, well, nothing's happening here. You don't need me. I mean, there was nothing from Chelsea at all, was there? Shot on target wise.
I think he said it was for a pizza, but I think it was for a poo, to be honest with you.
Either way,
I think he was lying.
But sorry, if you're a Chelsea fan and your home side is not having a shot on target, that's pretty depressing, isn't it, really?
In the big
that's where we were last year, wasn't it? That's where we were last year.
And then you saw Aubameyang trying to hide inside his coat after 64 minutes.
It's nothing personal.
Nothing personal. No. He's blue.
Literally
tattoo.
You know that meme where Homer Simpson is disappearing into the hedge?
Into the grass, yeah.
It's like Aubameyang was trying to do that into his coat.
Nothing to see.
Apparently, somebody put a tweet out saying El Neni had more touch of the ball in the 10 minutes he was on at the end of the game than Aubameyang.
I tweeted that. I couldn't remember.
Oh, that was you, was it?
Yeah, no, well, I saw it. Someone else do it, and I couldn't credit them because I didn't actually take a note of who it was. But I did send it out myself because I think it's hilarious. El Neni had the same amount of touches as Aubameyang, and he came on in the 87th minute. Absolutely brilliant. So funny.
But nothing personal.
It's great.
He's feeling a bit blue this morning.
Yeah, so looking back to build up the game as well, that advert, and it was just BT was just they do what they do to get promoting it and basically get the viewers in, even for the neutrals. Fair enough. The fact that they put out the behind the scenes stuff of Aubameyang, and when they're saying about I'm a blue and this, that, and the other, he's there like laughing. That says a lot about the person himself. That he didn't even, because he obviously goes on to say it as well, without even disputing it. It says a lot about the person. I mean, a few weeks ago, there was a video that leaked out of him slagging off Arteta. Can't manage. He needs kids. He can't manage big players. This, that, and the other. To the point where he was getting so much hate for it from Arsenal fans. Puts a tweet out. Oh, that was when I left Arsenal. What's that? I was really hurting. I was at Barcelona. I was really hurting. It was a secret film. But then he goes and does this, and this would have been recorded around that sort of time as well. It just goes to show the sort of person he is, and you know what? As I said before, good riddance is gone, because if he hadn't gone, we could this could be a completely different Arsenal we're talking about right now.
The thing is, you would have thought of what he's going to be up for. He would have been up for that game to prove the else in the Arsenal camp were wrong and he's right and he's this fantastic player. You would have thought he'd have been breaking his ass trying to get around that pitch and get the ball and driving the players on, playing at home against your home fans. But to be honest, he was pretty much invisible, wasn't he?
I forgot he was on the pitch, and I think was it Ben White he had a bit of an fracas with at one point. I think it's Ben White. Can't quite remember, but that's what. Oh yeah, I forgot he was playing. I'm not even joking.
No, but that's how poor he was. That's how poor, in a game like that, that's how poor he was.
I think he's only got one goal all season, hasn't he? For Chelsea.
Something like that, but he's not even in the league. Got Champions League against Leicester, Salzburg, and all that.
Yeah, exactly. He ain't got a Premier League goal yet, has he?
No, I don't think so.
There's an element of Potter doesn't fancy him in that way because obviously he didn't sign him, did he? So he's come into the club and he's adopted all these players. And the first thing he's going to want to do at some point is have a change, isn't he?
Well, the hilarious thing is they're stuck with him for 3 years, like we were. They're stuck with him for 3 years on massive wages.
Yeah, well, we sold him for nothing, and then get how many million for him?
We got rid of him. We literally desperate to get rid of him. Gave him away for nothing. The team that got him for nothing didn't even want to keep him. Got rid of him
after 6 months. They
have him. They managed to get money. They managed to get however much money it was. I can't remember for him. They're laughing their heads off. And they're now stuck with him, Chelsea, for 3 years on whatever stupid wages they've given him.
And let's be honest, he ain't going to get.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer club.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've said that before, haven't we? So, they do look a mess, Chelsea. I must admit. Their formation, just their players. I mean, they just don't seem to be Well, I suppose it's. We're now seeing what's happening without Abramovich's money, aren't we?
Yeah.
They still spent a hell of a lot of money in the summer, didn't they?
They spent a lot of money, but it was done mercenary. Look at it. Koulibaly, he's a long age of 30. We watched him a few years ago when we were heavily linked with him against us when we had Lucas Tadeo and all that under Unai Emery.
He was poor then.
He was poor, and that was when he was younger at his peak, at his pomp. He's now a bench player under Graham Potter.
Yeah,
they've got Thiago Silva, who's 38, pushing 40 in terms of their defence now. But they brought Raheem Sterling in for 55 million, something like that.
He's ridiculous money like that. Well.
And what's he done this season?
I know. He looks like he don't want to be there. He really does. He looks like, what the hell have I done? Yeah,
well, why would you, with all due respect, you're at Man City, winning title after title after title, be it league or whatever, and you're going to Chelsea, who are under a new ownership, new era, you're not quite clear what their plan is. And he's non-existent. He is non-existent. With that world-class players around him, he's non-existent. Aubameyang, we've got onto that already. Well, I'm being honest, I'm proved right, because when he signed, I said, you're going to see exactly the same as what we have for the last year and a half of his time at Arsenal. So far, I've been proven right. Who's the other one? I'm trying to think now. Cucurella, £62.5 million they spent, plus bonuses on him.
He was having a good cuddle with Xhaka, wasn't he? He was having a good cuddle with Xhaka, wasn't he?
That was unbelievable. He obviously loves Xhaka so much.
He's trying to swap shirts then, wasn't he, I think?
It's unbelievable.
No, but I mean, all those players you mentioned, they've all been signed by the manager that got sacked, haven't they?
Yeah.
So,
and you think Cucurella would, really get his mojo back, having his old manager there as well. But he was crap at the weekend. I really liked him at Brighton. I was singing his praises. I did a transfer show saying we should sign him one day.
I know we were interested in him, weren't we? At one point, I thought.
Yeah, but he was good. He was really good. But he's just like he was good at Brighton. He's not been good at Chelsea. Same goes for everyone.
If he'd have signed for us, he would have been good, I think, because he'd play in a system that is easy to follow, and they all play to the same system. Chelsea don't play to any system, do they?
Yeah,
it's obvious.
I know. Not one of their signings that you've just mentioned, though, has been a success.
No.
So far, no.
And Sterling will still go to the World Cup. Sterling will still go to the World Cup.
Yeah, of course he will.
Yeah, and that's my point. That Andrew just spent a lot of money in the summer, but on players that are either over the hill and not worth a penny that they spent, let alone what they did spend, or don't suit what Chelsea are all about. And even under Tuchel, they weren't suited to Tuchel's playing style. And we saw that briefly. And then Graham Potter's coming in. He's inherited it all. He's inherited a deep touch-over mess.
The managers ain't got any say in who comes into that club, have they? And the stupid thing is they've got rid of their one person that did really well with the transfer market, which is that Marina Granovskaya. They got rid of her as well.
Yeah.
I mean, absolute joke of a decision.
Check all of them. He got literally walked in and got rid of everyone that was inherited in the back.
Oh, I can do your job. I can do your job as well. I can do your job.
That's what he did, because he took over. He literally got rid of them and took over their roles.
Absolutely ridiculous. I'm just really going to enjoy their demise over the next few months and coming years. You'll go back to the old Chelsea, how it used to be, and then they'll end up getting sold for £1 again.
Oh God, imagine! No, they'll go one better, a penny. No,
they'll be on their 4th or 5th manager by then, won't they?
Possibly not their 10th.
Of the month, yeah.
Oh, no, it's again. We said it when they were going, but even before the new owner came in, we were joking or banter and all that at the time. But it's back to life, back to reality as the sun goes. You had your 19 years of here we are, we're going to win the Champions League and buy our way to glory. Now you're getting brought back to reality the way you used to be, if not worse. Literally, if you look at the team, that the players they brought in, and the players they had before Remner came along, the Desailly's near the end of his career. And, they brought these big name players near the end of their careers. What have they done this summer? They're buying big players at the end of their careers. Aubameyang, Sterling, Koulibaly.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. Let them continue. That's all.
They had Ruud Gullit running around as well, didn't they? When he had his Zimmer frame out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they weren't back into Diego Costa. I mean, when Wolves signed him, I thought they might come back in for him.
Yeah.
That's opening that one for January.
Oh dear. It's hilarious, but it's good. They're good humour, aren't they? So I mean, but yeah, I mean, I heard today that Liverpool are potentially going to be sold, aren't they? The American owners are potentially putting the feelers out. Is that another club that's run the cycle of success, and now, it's time for a new set of players. It's
new manager, new set of players. They've looked at it and thinking, how much is this going to cost us?
They've got an aging team as well, haven't they? When you look at their players, I mean, so is it? There's a new sheriff in town, and we're one of them, aren't we? Man City will just carry on doing what they do, but we're right up there now. We're only going to get better. The young players we've got, are only going to get better. And if we can sign a couple of more additions come January just to beef up our squad, who knows? We could win the league. Why not?
I'm a believer, as the Monkeys once said.
Haaland doesn't score every game, does he? Or does he?
No, he's not playing.
De Bruyne and they get a penalty at the last minute. Apart from that, no.
That made me so sick and angry, honestly. He will never get spoken about in any. No one would ever disrespect him in the media. It's Kevin De Bruyne.
We all said it in the group chats and all that as well about this. Match day comes along. Jermaine Genius, not clever play, fantastic play from Kevin De Bruyne. The filter touch goes down. Perez in 2003 got berated by the media against Portsmouth after his dive against Portsmouth. Any time a player goes down for Arsenal, if it's not they don't see it, they don't deem it as a foul.
Bukayo Saka, anyone?
Yeah.
Southampton a few weeks
times now.
Zay's Juice against Southampton the other week got manhandled to the rugby tackle to the floor.
Numerous occasions.
That was more of a penalty than what we saw on Sunday.
People were saying about Gabriel Jesus' penalty that he got against who was it? Where did he get a penalty? He got kicked in the heel. What game was that?
Can't remember now.
Anyway, you know which one I'm on about.
Yeah, no,
you you could actually hear it on the cameras. The mics picked it up. The kick. So he got kicked. Kevin De Bruyne, and people are comparing that to the Kevin De Bruyne one. It's ridiculous.
He hung his leg out. He hung his leg out, didn't he?
Yeah.
To make contact.
Threw himself on the floor embarrassingly.
It was Leicester, wasn't it? He didn't get given, but it was Leicester.
No, the one he got given. It's Leeds, I think. Leeds
might be Leeds, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Leeds. We didn't get Leeds.
Oh, anyway.
I think
We did get the penalty. Liverpool. It was Liverpool.
That's it. Liverpool at home.
The Liverpool game. Yeah, and because it was on his heel, it was really hard to see. But there was contact, and you could hear it. And yeah, people saying,
he got berated by that for the media.
I know exactly. But Kevin De Bruyne won't get it. No, you can't speak badly.
No, De Bruyne does it. Clever play.
Dreadful.
And of course, Leno falls over the ball, didn't he? You think he couldn't just do. I mean, he was crap at saving penalties for us, wasn't he? But I mean, he went the right way. He was there, wasn't he? Scoot the ball.
That was embarrassing, actually.
No, really straight under his body, straight in the back of the net, and you just think, well,
biscuit hands. Leno does it again.
That genuinely naffed me off. Like you wouldn't believe. I was like, I heard about it. I was like, I'll wait till much today to judge it. So I want to go in on him. And I saw it. I was like, how it wasn't even the best paint in the world. It was
no.
He sort of
nowhere near it. Yeah, nowhere near the corner. It was like he went over. It was like midriff.
Yeah, he sort of dives over it. I'm going to save it, but I'm not going to save it. Actually,
it was easier to save it. Actually, it was easier to save it than jump over. Wasn't it? All he had to do was fall on the floor.
And he did it on purpose, didn't he? He did it on purpose because he knew that it would have meant Arsenal going further clear.
And obviously, the celebration police have to come out for that, don't they? Because it was like they won the league that game, wasn't it? When they got the winner, it was like they won the league, wasn't it?
You can see what it meant to Pep. I mean, Pep was like pumped, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, like the biggest
result. He knows that we were on his tail now.
Yeah, well, he probably already knew that we were going to win our game, so he had to win that game somehow. Yeah, and then they're having a pop at Arteta now about being outside the technical area. Now that seems to be one of the things.
That's Richard Keys' new thing now, isn't it?
Yeah. He should be penalised for that.
He's been going on about it for months.
Even though Klopp does it and Conte does it, Pep does it. Every manager does it in the league. I haven't done the league, not just in the league, but around Europe. But in the league, we're talking about league here. Every manager does exactly what Arteta's been doing. But Arteta gets singled out because he's Richard Keys and he has an agenda against Arsenal for some reason.
Richard Keys needs to get over it. Mikel Arteta is not going to sleep with him. Just get over it.
That ship has sailed.
Absolutely infatuated with Mikel Arteta, this bloke.
He is. He's obsessed. It's literally... It's pathetic as well to just like see the tweets come out on my socials and all that. I'm just like, are you that sad that you've got to put this out there to suit a narrative, but anyone else does it? You're sort of what, where, who?
I'm not going to stop telling him to retire until it actually happens. As well.
He was retired out there. Well, he just got out there to retire and do the other.
No, he's been ostracised.
Yeah, ostracised by the UK media. Thought, no, you know what? Qatar wants me. Or is it Qatar Dubai wants me? I'll go
and take all the dirty blood money.
Yeah,
I'll pay the dirty money. Yeah.
And sleep with my daughter's friends.
If we celebrate
every week,
winning games,
life, yeah.
If we keep winning games and celebrate, then fair play. Let them say what.
So he moved his family and his daughter's friends out there with him, and he's got a good life now.
Yeah. I think he lives in a caged community, though, doesn't he? Won't let him out.
Well, gorillas usually are kept in cages. Yeah, he was kept in quarantine when he got over there to start off with because they saw his hands.
They check his passport.
Guy the gorilla. Yeah, okay. You have to stay in here for 3 months.
Have you had your tetanus?
Oh,
dear.
What you're against vaccines? All right, in you go. 6 months. Shut
It's,
up.
it's much easier taking the piss out of everybody when you're top of the league, though, isn't it? I just mentioned we're top
Oh,
of
it's
the
so
league.
much nicer. It's like
Anybody didn't know,
enjoy
we're
it.
top of the league.
They can't come back at you. They can't come back at us because we are top of the league. We're enjoying life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know. So what? You know, fair play, innit? You know, you can all struggle, and we'll just keep winning games. You know.
Well, like I said, we've taken over from Liverpool. We were ready. Remember all these previous conversations we've had about having to be ready for when the cycle ends of Liverpool,
you said it last
Man
season.
City,
You actually said this last season.
yeah, and we were ready.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were ready, and we've taken over Liverpool. Their cycle was ended. They're finished, done. And now, you know, whenever before at the start of each season, it was always who's going to finish third and fourth, because everyone just assumed it was going to be Man City and Liverpool at the top. Now it could be, well, everyone's going to assume it's Arsenal and Man City at the top. Who's going to finish third and fourth behind us two?
Well, if Newcastle carry on the way they're going, then they're all battling for fourth place, aren't they?
Everyone else will be, hopefully. We'll do our thing as a top three clubs, and everyone else can scrap out for the last scrappings, basically.
I'm sure Liverpool love to play in the Conference League. I think that's good level for them.
Can you imagine?
Coming back, yeah.
But don't rule out Newcastle just falling away in the new year, because that's what Eddie Howe's teams always did before.
At Bournemouth.
They used to have an amazing beginning of the season, and then after Christmas, they forgot that they had to start winning games, and they just fell off a cliff.
You know what? Timing-wise, that could come perfect for us then, because we've got them first game in the new year.
Yeah,
I know, we've got a terrible January, haven't we?
can't be any worse than October.
Yeah.
9 games.
Yeah, it's
in October.
3 games on the trot. We've got Newcastle, Spurs, and Man United.
Yeah, Newcastle home, Spurs away, Man United at home. And I said because someone came, one of the new subs came in yesterday. I was doing the women's game and all. They asked me, "Do you think Arsenal are going to win the league now after today's win?" I was like, "We can, of course we can. We're there. We're there. We are in that conversation as we speak." But come back to me at full time after United's game. If we are still top, between now and the full time whistle of Man United, if we are still top or we're out by a point to City, I'll bet my 10 to win the league, because that speaks volumes. That's the toughest month then out of the way. All the other games, all the other months are sort of evenly spread out then.
Well, I think statistically, the team with that many points at this stage of the season has always gone on to win the league.
Apart from once, and that was Newcastle, 96.
Yeah, but that was Kevin Keegan, though, wasn't it? That was always ready for disaster, wasn't it? But
that's kicking.
But yeah, I mean, that's the only team that's blown up with that. But they had a massive lead as well, didn't they? Not only the points, but they had a massive lead as well. We don't have a massive lead, do we? We don't have a massive lead.
Yeah, and there wasn't like oil run clubs around then either, was there? It was just like a normal league.
Yeah.
But different world back then. But yeah, no, I mean, we've got an amazing track. People are saying, are we in a title race? Is it too early to say we're in a title race? Well, I just asked the question, are we out of the title race?
We're a third way in the season.
Are we out of the title race? No, we're actually top of the league. So, of course, we're in a bloody title race.
You know, talk to Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United. They're out of the title race.
What more can you do to be in a title race than be top of the league?
10 points to do, apparently.
It's absolutely stupid thing to say. Of course we are. But, I mean, I was just saying about Newcastle. I wouldn't be surprised if they start dropping away. They're only a couple of injuries away, same as any other team.
Was Almiron's the difference at the moment, and he's having a blinding few games, isn't he?
I mean, he must have nicked all of Liverpool's inhalers or something. I mean, he's just honestly, what's going on with him? It's crazy. I mean, fair play to him. I actually quite like him as a person. He seems like a really nice guy, doesn't he? But he was just running around like Gollum at Lord of the Rings for about the first 2 or 3 seasons he was at Newcastle. And now he's all of a sudden he's running around like Ronaldo.
Like Messi, isn't he? He's like bloody. He's woke up in the morning and think, I'm going to play like Messi now.
He must have banged his head during the night, and he's got like Munchausen syndrome or something, thinking he's someone else.
Is he coming to the end of his contract? I wonder if he's up for renewal.
Well, that's a really interesting point, actually. I was going to say that before. No, I don't know. But that's because we're talking about Aubameyang before, and it's exactly the same. We've had this conversation 100 times now about players that all of a sudden they get playing for a new contract. They look brilliant, like Aubameyang did in his previous year when we won us the cup. And then they sign their contract, and then it's cigar and slippers time. Same thing happened with Salah at Liverpool. I mean, I know he's hit a little bit of form now at the moment, but he's had a crap season, really, by his own standards. And you can count all the players, all straight the way through. When they're playing for a contract, they look amazing. When they don't have to play for a contract, bang average, and you don't see the best of them. And it's always the way. That's why I would actually play Nelson quite a bit more at the moment, because look what happened when Nketiah needed a new contract last season.
Yeah, he went on a run, didn't he?
All of a sudden, he was fantastic. Nelson is going to be without a club in the summer. Obviously, someone, I'm sure, will snatch him up. But it's the best time to play him right now. I'm not saying instead of Saka, but every game and every chance he gets, I think you should put him on the pitch.
I say against in terms of league-wise, against the lesser teams, like for example, this again, all due respect to Wolves, they're not playing fantastic. They're not going to, even though they're at home this week, they are at home this week, and for me, they don't pose no threat to us. So I know there's no other games after Saturday. But I'll start Reece with that, give him 60, 65 minutes, see how he goes. If he's not working.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd go strong, because if we picked up injuries, that unfortunately missed the World Cup, but they'd also be back for Boxing Day.
Who gives them up? I don't care. I do not care less.
No, I don't. So if Saka was to play and picked up a foot injury or something and missed a month, you'd think, well, okay, so be it.
Good. Yeah, get him on a plane to Marbella instead of...
Yeah. The lads are in Dubai. Do you want to join us? Yeah, all right then.
Get him on a plane to Marbella, put your feet up for 3 weeks instead of going to Qatar. That'd be absolutely fine. Absolutely agree with you, though. Play our strongest team. Who gives a monkeys about the national teams if they get a knock and they have to pull out? I mean, I know it's sad for the player, and you've got to think about but this is Arsenal. We pay their wages. We want the best out of them, and we've got to win that game to stay top of the league.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying in terms of when we're playing teams that are out of form or to us, give him the run out in them games.
Play the midweek game when he
build his confidence. That's what we did against Forest. Build his confidence up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and even if we give him the last, instead of giving him 15 minutes at the end or 10 minutes at the end, give him a half an hour.
Yeah,
so he can properly open up his lungs.
If we're strong against Wolves, we could have won that game by half time, couldn't we? Potentially. If we got ourselves 2 or 3 up at half time against Wolves, then you can ring the changes, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stu's in the chat saying if you shove Martinelli and Saka, as a makeshift fullbacks, they wouldn't amount to much with Mickey Mouse teammates. Almon was always a talent. We know that, but obviously he was around. Seems to add a bit of some quality players around him. Maybe that's possibility as well. And obviously, with the comments of Jack Grealish, as I mentioned before, and they won the title back in May, that's probably stoked his fire a bit more, actually.
He's always had, different managers all the time. So how many managers has he got through?
We had Steve Bruce crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean...
It'd be great if he played for us, wouldn't he? If that happened.
Well, I've heard, I saw a couple of rumours that were looking at him, but, I mean... They ain't going to sell any of their players that they want to keep to anyone now, are they?
No, of course not.
They don't need the money anymore.
You're not
going to be able to steal Newcastle's best players ever again, are you?
No, but I think the way we are at the moment with Arteta's value has increased considerably, isn't it, as a manager now, and he's got a team that are top of the league. That makes us a very attractive option for a lot of players, a lot of clubs, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, and the players might want
rather than us selling players, we don't need to look, to sell anybody unless we, actually want to sell a player. I mean, the players will want to come and play for us. They want to become part of the Arteta, academy and just play the way he wants to play.
No, I totally agree. And he, Almiron, might really, really want to come and join us. But when the club that you contracted to don't want to sell you,
no. But if he had a year left, or even 2 years left.
It don't matter to them, does it? Honestly, they've
Probably
got more.
not.
They've
They
got,
don't have money.
they've got how many more times money? Much more money than they got than Man City. Was it 100 times more money than Man City or something ridiculous? I mean, they would just say, well, just leave him there. Just let his contract run out. They wouldn't want to strengthen any of their rivals anymore, would they? And they don't need any money. Even if you offered 300 million for Almiron, they'd say, well, no, it's all right. It's all right, mate. I don't want it.
We'll sign Douglas Luiz instead,
Yeah.
or someone like that. Go back.
I know it's crazy. You know where I'm
Tielemans.
coming from, don't you? I mean, you could say, "Well, I'll go on strike then. I want to force through this move to Arsenal," and they could just. I mean, in theory, I'm not saying this would happen, but they said, "Well, no, just go play in the reserves, mate. I don't care because we don't want to strengthen any of our rivals anymore, and we don't need the money." So
Exactly.
that's how it could go with Newcastle. It's just. I used to like Newcastle as a club and their fans and everything. It's another club to hate now, isn't it? Because they're not doing it the proper way. You know, I know they haven't spent all the money in the world yet, but they still spent over 200 million, I think, in the summer, didn't they? If you add it all up.
But they bought Isaac, didn't they? But unfortunately, he's got injured early doors, didn't he? But that's their record signing, isn't it? I think. They're signing players like Trippier and was it Chris Wood? Is it? They're not.
They bought back in January. Yeah.
They're not marquee signings, are they? Now.
No, they've bought actually really astutely so far, but you know where the money's coming from now, and it just leaves another sour taste in your mouth, doesn't it? Because you know for a fact they're going to be, pushing Man City off their perch, and Man City will be the second best team all of a sudden in the league, and it just pushes everyone else at another run down the ladder.
Yeah. But it just makes it harder for everybody else to actually.
It's very frustrating.
Compete. It's almost like the FA Cup now. It's a top four competition, isn't it?
Yeah.
You never see a non-league side or a championship side really go deep now. Now the league will be the same. It'll just be whoever's got the biggest bank balance will win the league. And at the moment, that's still City. And Newcastle won't be far behind, will they?
I know. You've seen how utterly amazing Liverpool have been over the last 4 years, but incredible points tallies, everything they've done, but they've only got one league title to talk about. We just have to hope that we can be the team that gets that one occasional league title every now and then with brilliant management like we're doing now.
Yeah.
I just hope that it's one of those weird seasons where we can actually be that team that like Liverpool did recently and like Leicester did before them.
I was about to say, it has so far, touch wood. It does. This season has felt, from my perspective, anyway, as an Arsenal fan, very much like Leicester. I mean, I've talked about earlier about us just winning games. It doesn't seem we don't do draws apart from the one defeat. We just win in the league, and that's what Leicester did when Leicester won the league. Apart from when we beat them, they basically won. They barely drew. I think apart from losing against us in a way, I think that's the one other defeat in the league, and they won every other game. They're doing that. We're just going week by week at the moment, obviously game by game, but we're winning. We're just no matter what. Even when we're having a bad day, we're digging deep as a unit, as you mentioned before, and we're getting the 3 points like we did at Leeds and things like that.
See, Leicester went through the season, didn't they? They hardly had any injuries. They're hardly scoring for fun. They pretty much played the same back four every game with Schmeichel in goal. And they just got the results, didn't they? Every time they went on a run, people say, oh, yeah, but they'll blow up, they'll lose a game. But apart from us, where we beat them twice, nobody else really got near them, did they?
No. That's what I can see happening this year. I mean, it's just weird, isn't it? We had this conversation before the season started, didn't we, Ryan? And it was almost, it was a little bit tongue-in-cheek. But, we had that feeling, that it could be another Leicester season, and it's, touch wood, turning out that way. We just do need the luck to continue going our way, like you said, Steve, with injuries, things like that. But we are playing pretty much the same starting 11 every week, aren't we? Week after week after week in the league. It's really looking very similar to the way Leicester did it, with that continuity throughout the season, with the names on the team sheet. And if we can keep it the same way, if we can keep Jesus and Zinchenko fit now and Partey fit for the rest of the season, there's no reason we can't do it. And I'm not being funny, right? But a lot of the new Man City results recently, they've been quite lucky, haven't they? The last minute wins. And they're not been blowing teams away like they normally are. I think they're feeling the pressure a little bit with the new kids in town. You know, Master versus Apprentice, all that narrative behind it. I think there is a little bit of that to it as well. But they're not winning games by just being brilliant at the moment, are they? They're just,
they're getting the job done, aren't they? Somehow.
Yeah, with a bit of backhanders to the ref, but as the looks of it at the weekend.
I think there's also.
Go on.
I was going to say, I was just going to give a shout out to our other new signing. Attacking midfielder Xhaka. I mean, I think he's now Partey, Touchwood is playing more often. You've seen a different Xhaka now, aren't you?
I'll tell you what, he's fucking unbelievable.
He's scoring goals, he's creating, he's at both ends of the pitch. I mean, who knew? Well, we knew, but this season he's
getting in scraps and not getting sent off.
He's not getting booked that often. He's not getting sent off. And he's playing 90 minutes every week, isn't he? And he's a different player. He's a different player.
I love that interview. I just love inadvertent swearing on live TV and situations like that. It's just brilliant. Nothing better, is it?
You always want to interview a player they've just finished the game, don't you? That's always
it's just
look at their away fans pumping in the background. Yeah, that's what you need. It's not a recipe for disaster at all.
But I mean, I just think it's great. I think the whole team, it's just a pleasure to watch the guys now. From the kick-off, the way they just play the ball back to Ramsdale, he launches it forward to Martinelli, and he's on the back four, on the right back straight away, and we just set the tone right from the kickoff.
If you can go through all of our team at the moment, and you've got good arguments for everyone being the best player in the Premier League on form at the moment in their position. I mean, I think, Partey, I've said this for a while, I think he's the best midfielder, best number 6 in the league at the moment. I can't see anyone better than him at the moment. I can't see anyone better than Xhaka in his position at the moment either. Look at Gundogan at the moment, and he's not in as good a form as Xhaka at the moment. Yeah, honestly, you can go through every single player. I mean, the best defensive partnership in the Premier League at the moment. It's got to be. Saliba and Gabriel. Who's better than them?
Well, it's the old spine, isn't it? It's the old spine, as we've spoken before about goalkeeper, central defender, central midfield, striker. They're all at the top of their game.
I mean, for what he's offering our team, Gabriel Jesus, you can't ask for much more. Obviously, we want some goals. They will come. They will undoubtedly come.
Yeah,
because the way he's playing, the shots he's having, his luck will change very, very soon. He will start scoring. He's not the best striker in the Premier League at the moment. He's probably, obviously there's one other robot that's, But apart from him, I honestly think our wide two players are the best two wide players in the league at the moment, Martinelli and Saka. I can't think of any other players that are playing as well as them consistently.
Mm-hmm. Xhaka just beats his man for fun, doesn't he? Xhaka just beats his man for fun, whoever it is.
Yeah.
And
I love this shit.
They know what he's going to do.
They can't as well.
They know what he's going to do, but they can't stop him doing it.
Do you know what? I heard a podcast again. I can't remember which one it was to credit them, but they said about the Xhaka. He was pushing and shoving at the end of the game and everything. And a few months ago, or even everyone would have said, "Oh, what the fuck is he doing that for? What the fuck? He's going to get himself sent off. What a fucking arsehole." You know what it would have been like a few months ago, even if he was doing that. Now we're all like saying, "Come on, Xhaka." We love it. He's sticking up for his teammates. He's like, but he was in. Do you know what the difference was? And this is what he said in this podcast. He was in control of that situation. That's the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A year ago,
he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He was winding them up, and we were bashing them in their own backyard. And he was completely in control of himself. Before, it was the red mist, and he would have got himself sent off and blah blah. It's a different Xhaka. I mean, honestly, like you said, he's a different player, different person, and he's just you know, I wouldn't swap him for anyone in the world at the moment.
He's loving
I
his
mean,
game, isn't he? He's loving his game at the
I
moment.
think no Arsenal players would want him out of the team anymore. No Arsenal fans. I mean, we all love him. You know, I couldn't swap him for anyone in the world at the moment. He's just brilliant, and we love his attitude, love everything about him. He's just a completely changed man. Never, I mean, we've said this before. Never seen a better redemption story in all of sport. End of. I mean, I can't think of anything that's come even close.
As you say, you could go through the whole team. You could even make a case for someone like Holding, can't you? Comes on for the last 10, 15 minutes in tight games when we need to hang on. He comes on, he does a job, doesn't he?
The whole squad, the whole squad has been
comes on.
magnificent.
Even El Neni making an appearance for 7 minutes. You know, I mean, great. You know, he'll play. You know, they'll play on. You know, was it Thursday? Isn't it? Carabao.
Wednesday for
Wednesday.
Yeah. So, long may it continue. I think. You know, we can. I think we can win the league. I really do. If we took Haaland outside, we'd walk it.
Well, like we've been saying, we are top of the league. We're 13 or 14 games in, whatever. We've won all games barred 2 in the league. We are top against a team that's, but it's gone under the radar as well. Against a team in Man City that have, as you say, apart from one game this season, have a robot, like a goal scoring machine in Haaland, who scored, what was it, 3 hat-tricks in a row at one point?
Yeah.
He's literally like 6 goals or 5 or 6 goals away from Son's total from last season already. And we're still above him, though. Even though Jesus is on his little mini blip, we're still above him. Because we're getting goals from the wingers, from the midfield, from our defence.
And they're conceding goals, aren't they? They are conceding goals.
Haaland hasn't come up against Saliba yet either.
No.
True. So
wait for that one. That's going to be a battle. That's where
Saliba. I mean, he won't be able to fit him in his pocket, but you'll have to bend him in half.
He needs to pick up a booking, doesn't he? He needs to pick up a booking when it doesn't affect us too much.
If we played them without Haaland in the team, we'll beat them at the moment. I'm confident.
Yeah, I'm confident in that. Absolutely.
We really genuinely would. We're in better form than them. But Haaland's just a complete not a freak of nature. But like I said, he hasn't come up against our back 2 yet. Our 2 centre-back pairing. So I'm not saying,
so
that'd be the toughest challenge so far.
So with all that in mind, we have every chance and every chance to win the league. And as fans, we have every right at this moment in time to say, we can win it. We are going to win it because of the position we're in at the moment.
If things stay as they are, we just keep, they keep winning, we keep winning, they keep winning, we keep winning. We've only got to beat them once out of our 2 meetings with them. We've won the league.
The 5-point gap, yay!
Yeah. No, but if they win the reverse fixture, we can have one each. We can have one each.
And the important thing is we keep winning our games. We just get further and further away from 3rd and 4th and 5th, don't we?
Yeah, that's the main thing.
That's the main part,
And that's, let's be honest, the target this season probably was get back in the Champions League. So we could have
a full spot,
we could have done that by the end of January and still be in a fight for the title. Who knows, Because none of the other teams really are any sort of a consistent form, are they? Really?
No.
What is it? We're 11 points clear of 5th place. Is that right?
Yeah, we're 11 points.
And a game in hand.
A game in hand. We're 11 points clear of United. We're now 13 clear of Chelsea, 15 clear of Liverpool. Can I continue?
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. 15 points clear of Liverpool. Jesus.
I know.
And they spent on Nunes? 80 million, 70 million?
Yeah. Exactly. We got Zinchenko and Jesus for pretty much the same sort of price. I mean, a little bit, give or take.
Yeah. Shows you, doesn't it?
Colin's in the chat asking, didn't Saliba play against Haaland last season for... I don't think so. I'll check off and get offline and come back to you on that one, Colin, but I don't believe...
Was that a Champions League game?
Might be a Champions League or Europa League, one of the two.
I'll have to look into that.
I don't think they played. Did they play Marseille?
I don't think so. I can't remember. No, they can't have done because Dortmund was in the Champions League, dropped down, got knocked up by Rangers straight away. And Marseille's in the Europa League the entire tournament, so he can't have done.
No.
But I'll double check that just to verify it and all that. Obviously, once you get offline and all that. But yeah, I'm loving life at the moment. Compared to a year ago, when we're all here stressing about the United and Everton away games and this, that, and the other. I'm loving this. The fact I'm going. We said it all. I've been saying it all season. That I'm going into games, no matter who we're playing. I'm saying we're going to win that game. At the worst case, we're going to draw. We're not going to lose. We're not going to lose.
I never thought for 1 second we were going to lose against Chelsea.
No.
Honestly, in the run up to the game, I wasn't worried at all.
No, sorry. As I said earlier, the promoting side of it from BT and everything that's been the whole hype of it being built up. I knew we were going to win because they're putting so much emphasis on Aubameyang and the Arteta connection, that fallout basically. But so much on that, and even in the build up on the day itself, yesterday itself, so much emphasis was put on it. And from what we can only go by what we've seen from the documentary as well. Arteta and his coaching staff won't allow that to affect the players. If anything, he's probably used that as part of his team talk yesterday. Look, he's mocking us still. We're rent free in his head.
He must have done, because of what Gabriel tweeted out afterwards.
Yeah.
You see Gabriel's tweet saying nothing personal, but London is still red, something like that. I virtually guarantee you that he used that thing, Arteta. After watching All or Nothing, he would have used that to fire up the players.
I didn't notice at the time because he was screaming and waking his baby up during the stream. And I was like, "Oh no, what have you done?" But I didn't notice in the celebrations until about an hour or two after the game. I was watching there's photos going about. Every Arsenal player that was in the box turned, instead of going straight to the Arsenal fans, they went directly to where Aubameyang was and went around him or through him. You tell me something hasn't gone on there as well. That's a sort of a subtle cue, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that game just showed why we sold him, wasn't it? That was the player we got rid of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You compare it to Jesus, and you just think, well, there's that's the reason right there. And
Jesus would sell his own grandmother to help the team at the moment. I reckon that's how much he cares.
Yeah.
Well,
I think there's an element of I can't believe I'm not scoring because some of the chances he's had, he would bury, but they're just not going in for him at the moment. And he's still it doesn't stop him from shooting, does it? It doesn't stop him from trying to score. Or
he's still leading. He's a complete leader of the team, but especially the front line. Everyone looks at him and sees how hard he's working still, and they think they've got to redouble their efforts all the time because he never lets up.
But he also creates, though, doesn't he? They know that if they get in the right position, he will find them. He will create something.
And no matter where he is, if the ball falls to him in the box, no matter where it is, he'll make space. Yeah. If not for him personally, for a teammate. And again, this is all stuff we wasn't getting, even with Lacazette last season, or for the last couple of years.
I think he's improved Martinelli, and I think he's improved Saka.
Yeah, definitely.
So and his energy, it just runs through the team, doesn't it?
And again, going back to that little scrap near the end with Granit and the Chalobah and all that. Jesus was the first over to Granit after Nick having a little bit of fun, pulled him away, said, "You've had your fun, move away before you get booked." And
I love it though. We've throughout the team, we're not being pushed around by anyone anymore.
No,
we're a big team, aren't we?
Yeah,
we've got leaders.
We've got a lot more height, and we're a much bigger team. Yeah, you're right. And we just don't get pushed around anymore. I mean, everyone sticks up for each other. It's literally, we use this phrase for. Everyone's been using this phrase, but it's a band of brothers, and you can really see that now, can't you? The way they are together, they love each other.
When they have their huddles, don't they? I mean, it's all about building that team. We're all in this together. We've got ourselves back in the game, and they have their huddle, don't they? Where they get it all together, and they just make sure they're all playing to the same, script, don't they? Really, they've got a plan, and they all stick to it. And he's got the players now that can actually execute the plan that he's set out during the week.
Yeah, and if one of them makes a mistake during the game, they're all over to say, It's all right. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We've got you back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, they don't berate each other like you used to. It's not too distant past where someone would make a mistake and everyone would just throw their arms up in the air and they start arguing with each other on the pitch. I can vividly remember it. The David Luiz time, the Kolasinac time, and all that when we had under Unai Emery. We used to have pushing matches on pushing each other, our own players.
I mean, you was here, didn't you? That they used to have clear the air meetings, didn't they?
Yeah.
I always heard about these. Oh, we've all got to sort our problems out. That doesn't happen now, does it? That does not happen.
You'd be shocked, wouldn't you? I mean, they'll get on like a complete family. They've all got each other's backs. They all don't, like I said, one of them makes a mistake, they'll pick them up. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant to watch. And the way they look after each other on the pitch as well. The shithousery. I think another thing with Ben White, his shithousery is fantastic. He gets away with so much on that pitch as well. It's brilliant to watch. Apparently, a lot of the rival fans hate him.
Fantastic.
And I absolutely love that fact. Absolutely love that fact about him. He's rapidly becoming one of my favourite players of all time. Where he's going.
You know what? We've
been part of eras where we've had Martin Keown's, the Winterburns, Dixons, Adams, and Sol Campbell of this world, Vieiras and all that. On reason that they're hated because of the threat they pose.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm loving this.
I think if we carried on the way we are, we did end up winning the league. We'd put so many pundits out of business. We'd have so many pundits that are going to have to resign because of the way they've said, it's Arsenal, they blow up this, that, and the other. They can't. None of them have got a clue, really, have they? And you think if we win the league, they'll think, oh shit, yeah, maybe we were wrong. Phil Neville, no, not Phil Neville, Gary Neville, and so on and so on.
Gary Neville, Jamie O'Hara, Danny Mills, who's butthurt over being humiliated in 2004 still.
You've got match of the day putting us on fourth when you've got Villa. What was the first game? Villa
versus United, and then it was who's next? Who's the second
Newcastle?
one?
Was it Newcastle?
No, they were off. It might be actually. I'm trying to think now.
I can't remember. I thought we were fourth off.
It was Villa United, West Ham Palace, Newcastle Southampton, then us, and then
Big London derby, and you're on fourth.
Because of what?
Is it?
Yeah. Absolute joke.
Yeah, but that's fine. We'll just keep winning.
Yeah.
We don't do draws.
Just keep winning. Have a pipe on.
Yeah. Keep looking down. Keep
winning.
Amazing.
Oh dear! The more we win, as long as this goes, I'm gonna do a little video. No Dory finding Nemo. He goes, keep swimming. Keep swimming. Keep winning. Just keep winning. Everything just gets off media. Full time. Full time whistle. Every time we win, boom, out we go.
Yeah. Another reason I love Ben White as well is his post-match interviews with the foreign press.
Just short and abrupt, yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
Cool. Fantastic, yeah.
So are you're not being bullied, or you're being bullied? What were we? Well, I didn't know. So. Used to me, mate. It's so good.
Oh dear, gotta love it.
Anyway, Strictly's on in a minute.
Yes, it is.
I'm a celeb. Sorry.
Did you watch the one yesterday?
With
I can't remember his name now.
Babatunde.
Babatunde,
yeah.
He kept saying more than once that he's from Tottenham, and in the very first little task thing, 3 of them will go up there.
Yeah.
Which one bottled it?
Babatunde.
The one from Tottenham.
But it was on the papers today that apparently he got stuck halfway for 45 minutes. You only saw like 5 minutes on there.
That's a half of football. That's a half of football.
The girl that went on first, she obviously had to stand at the end until he made up his mind he wasn't going to do
Scott,
it. It took him 45 minutes before he decided, and he started just turning back. And I just thought, well, that's typical Tottenham, isn't it?
So the other woman was stuck out there for
45 minutes. Yeah, you only saw 5 minutes on TV.
Literally on like a 1 foot square thing with wind blowing, howling around her.
Yeah.
So
and then Jill Scott walked straight out.
You think that Jill Scott as well? Because
Yeah, she walked
Jill
straight
got
out.
one of yours, by the way, just
Yeah.
retired from football. Had to stand at the fucking middle of nowhere, up in the air for 45 minutes.
Yeah, what about the other one though? Standing on one, she couldn't even like stretch her legs or anything. She's like,
No, I'd have been straight over.
You
Straight
fucking
over.
hurry up.
I don't do heights. I'd have been straight over, mate. I
he
wouldn't
got,
have made
he got stuck after 45 minutes, which is like say football half.
it. First half.
football.
Yeah.
And then
Knocked them out.
then butt
I'm
it.
out.
Typical Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't. Oh,
I just straight away because I was watching it with my lads, and I said, well, I hate him straight away. I want him to go out for week one.
No, you want to do all the challenges, don't you? You want to do all the challenges, don't you?
Until Matt Hancock comes around, and we just throw Matt Hancock under the bus. Or divvy it out between the two, one of the two. Yeah, I was trying to think. What's it? I don't think now. God, I didn't get catch it. We're going to wrap up soon because it is coming on soon. So, yeah, another win, top of the league by 2 points. Yeah, 2 points because we were 11 on points. So yeah, 2.
Yeah.
Something like that. So we're 2 points. Got one more league game to go for the World Cup. Got away to Wolves Saturday night, nice and late kick off as well. Not an early one, nice and late. Makes perfect sense on a Saturday before the World Cup, and literally a week before the World Cup starts as well. Like, you're not asking for trouble there, are you? But it is what it is. You will see us again beforehand. We're going to try and get together for the end between now and probably Friday, possibly, or Thursday for a show, just to get ready for the Wolves game, and then obviously you'll see us again next Monday for the aftermath of what happens at Wolves, basically going and building up for what's going to happen during the International World Cup break, or even if I can call it. And yeah, we'll go from there. You're going to see me again tomorrow over on Andrew's channel because Andrew's got a podcast. What time are you doing that, Andrew?
7:30, mate. 7:30. So come and join us on From Donald Square to Where for more of the same. So it'd be good. So please come over and join us.
Yeah, and then you'll see me back here again on Wednesday for we'll try and get a stream. I'll try and get stream mine anyway. But for the watch along with the Arsenal Brighton game, because it's not on UK TV, because they want to focus on Man City Chelsea, dead rubber game. Just saying. And then obviously, yeah, as I say, Friday possibly a podcast, and then Saturday watch along, and then we'll carry on throughout the World Cup, basically with podcasts here, there, and everywhere. And I need to sort out with the powers that be of Mr. Davies's people a date and time for the appearance on the channel. So he needs to sort that out actually, because he wants to come on during the World Cup. So we need a sort of time and a date that doesn't clash with an England game. So once we do sort that out, you guys will be the first to know on that. And yeah, apart from that, thank you guys for coming along. Thanks to Colin, Steve, Mr. Bungle, a few new faces in the chat as well. Obviously Andrew and Steve as well themselves, obviously coming on tonight and getting the band back together for the first time in a while, actually, because of holidays and other stuff that's gone on recently. Yeah, obviously I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed this show. I'm enjoying the season, and no Jamie O'Hara or Gary Neville is going to change my mind about that. The more bitter they get going day by day, the more I'm enjoying it. So keep being bitter, you motherfuckers, because I'm loving it. But until then, we're going to time out and see you on the other side, as always. Up the Arsenal.
Come on, you guys.
See you later. Take care.